So what is the Great Awakening? Before we can even answer that, we need to understand what a revolution is. For most, a revolution means change. But what is that change? And I'm not talking just about geopolitics. I'm talking about a complete revolution and change when it comes to technology, consciousness, as well as religious beliefs. The only way we will accomplish a complete revolution is when these things are also looked at. In all aspects of life, things need to change. Everywhere you look, things will begin to change as a revolution starts taking place. So consciousness is currently evolving. People are realizing that the word revolution doesn't completely mean spin or turn. It means evolve. In order for change to happen, people need to talk. And very often in history, it only takes a few people to achieve something that is historical. So you'll get two types of people. You'll get people who hear the truth and they'll choose not to stand up because they are fearing for their lives and they think that it's going to be a lot easier when they take a step back and they keep their mouths shut. There are also some people who are given facts and they're told a different way of thinking could be possible, but they choose not to see it and they choose to stay ignorant because they trust in the authorities or in the people who have been giving us information. They trust these people to be giving us protection and to be telling us the truth. So as everyone knows, we don't really live in a free world. We're told that we're free, but we aren't truly free. Who are the people behind our demise? Are we the ones that are behind our demise and we don't even know it? Are the people who are the cardboard cutouts behind the social media networks or even the news networks? Are these people who are giving us information knowing that what they're giving us is not really real information, or is it actually creating more of a socialistic disease where we actually don't know how to connect with people anymore? People who control our governments, control our social media, control our news channels, these people know that fear is the driving force behind control. Fear is literally the veil which separates us to spiritual perception and basic psychological balance. So when this perception is distorted, we use that creative energy, which we can be using for something that is really positive and really good. It's used in the wrong way. And fear is one of the main agents of psychological indoctrination. So any source that can create fear knows that it can control the mind. So when we are constantly put into a state of fear, we do not evolve. We do not think for ourselves. We always look at the bad side of life, the darker side of life, and we do not voice our opinions, and we do not become the people who we are because we constantly have this fear eluding us every single day. I don't know about you, but I fought depression for many, many years, and every morning I have to catch myself not being fearful to get up in the morning. I have to catch myself not thinking those really negative thoughts. For anyone who doesn't know, I live in South Africa. We've got the land issue at the moment, and there is a lot of division. And I have moved out of this country twice, and I've moved back with absolutely nothing. I've started over 5 times with nothing because my home is my home, and I will never let fear drive me out of this country again. And the people of South Africa are too scared to stand up against the powers that apparently have our best interests at heart, but actually do not care if we go hungry or if we are killed in the process. We're not standing up as a people and standing together because we are using fear as a tactic to divide people, to divide our people. This beautiful rainbow nation, we are divided by fear. In order for a revolution to take place, like I mentioned, we need to look at all aspects. So currently we're in the beginning stages in the medical revolution of where people are starting to see that certain pharmaceuticals are causing more harm than actually helping these illnesses. That we are being treated with harmful chemicals that are damaging us in the process, Why are we given repeated scripts if medication that we are given from the pharmaceutical industries it's supposed to help us? Why are we receiving repeat scripts? Why are we using something that is a derivative of mustard gas that was used back in Hitler's days to kill people as treatment for cancer? Why are we not looking at the alternatives to healing instead of trusting what has been blindly given to us? Our water is killing us. Our toothpaste is killing us. People are very, very accepting or ignorant when they are told that this is right for you without any questions. People are not asking the questions, are there alternatives? But it's starting to change. We are beginning to rely more on natural medications. We are beginning to look at the chemicals and the elements that we've been given by nature in order to heal, that has been around for millennia. And because we were told that these chemicals that we were given would be more effective and would help us, we are trusting that. People are starting to see that this is a complete lie. Depopulation is a very real thing, and for anyone questioning if this is a very real thing, all you need to do is look at food. Have you ever asked yourself why the healthy organic food is so expensive? And why the middle class and the lower class are forced to buy toxic, harmful food that is packed with chemicals? And it has been proven that GMOs that are put into food that has been deemed safe for even children, it's been associated with infertility. It's been associated with immune problems, cancer, accelerated aging. There are so many factors that come around with it. Our water has got fluoride. Please do not confuse this with the natural element called fluorine. This is found in our toothpaste. It's found in our water. There's actually warning labels at the back of toothpaste that says you need to watch your children brushing their teeth. And if they swallow it, they need to be rushed to poison control. These are the products that are being forced upon us, and we have to have them. We're told we need to drink water. We're told we need to brush our teeth 3 times a day. So you answer me this. Why are we not being treated, or why have we not been given alternatives? And when we are given alternatives, they are so expensive that we cannot afford them every day. So we are forced to basically bow down and accept the fact that we have to be poisoned slowly. We are up against tech warlords when it comes to social media and the news networks. We are up against big pharma. We're against agricultural companies such as Monsanto that are spraying chemicals in our skies and on our foods. And we are in a fight against rich oil companies. We should be fighting for free energy. We should be fighting for what Nikola Tesla stood for. And for people who don't know who Nikola Tesla is, I'm going to do a video on him next week. Why are we not learning about this incredible man in our schools? We are taught about the wars. We are taught about all of these things that do not matter, and they keep us in a sense of fear. So are we going to lose everything? Our health, our happiness, the air that we breathe, to make a small portion of people powerful and rich? Are we going to lose our animals? Because we're listening to these people. We're allowing them to cut down the forest. We're allowing them to dig into our earth and create earthquakes. Are we allowing these people to kill us slowly every single day? And the answer is yes. There is a very small majority of people currently that are fighting for these things. And it is okay because this is just the beginning. But the only way we're going to get there is if we actually see it for ourselves and we start making the change. Even when it comes to nuclear energy, it can be replaced with a different type of substance by the name of thorium. We don't need uranium. If we brought morality into the revolutions that are taking place currently and the future revolutions, if we looked at medicine, technology, free energy, as well as animals with a different type of consciousness, it will completely conquer all of these things. And we will not have to keep on bowing down to these elite people who are making money out of our demise and out of our control. So the reason why I mentioned that was to just touch on the lies and the deception that we have been given throughout humanity's time here on earth. And we should be asking questions. We should have questions now. We will have questions in the future, because what we are being given and what we are being told is not exactly to our well-being. It benefits a very small portion of people on this planet. And if you are on this channel, you will actually know that we are experiencing a massive shift in consciousness currently taking place. And I believe it's only going to increase. And I think that that is why the world is currently in a state of disarray, craziness, because these systems are starting to break down. And when things always change, there's always a bit of chaos. So the Great Awakening, in my opinion, and many people across the world, has already begun. I think it actually started happening a lot earlier than we even noticed, but because there were so little people during that time, that there wasn't something that was as obvious as it is in today's time. So I experienced my spiritual awakening last year after many, many years, and I do have a video explaining it if you go down into my playlist. But there is a major shift taking place, and my consciousness completely changed when I experienced that shift. Instead of looking outside, I started looking inward, and I started seeing that we are living in a real false narrative of what life should be. We should be living life being happy and exploring and experiencing things. But rather we are being put into a box where we cannot move and where we feel literally suffocated, that people are so desperate that they are choosing to take their own lives to leave this earth plane. And I have been around a lot of suicide in my life, and I too have experienced those thoughts of suicide. And what we eventually realize when we start looking inwards and we start realizing that this world is there's so much more to humanity than what we actually know or that we've been told, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that our lives are more meaningful than what we've been told. People are also becoming more health conscious, which is a really great thing. We're starting to question what we are putting into our bodies, and we're starting to look at the things that really, really make us happy and make us sad. Just as there's everything, a light and dark, alpha and omega, everything has polarization. And in my opinion, and the opinion of many other light workers around the world, is that the Great Awakening is going to bring out the shadow self in you. It's going to bring up a lot of things that you need to deal with to the surface. And when you become conscious of what it's trying to tell you, you start to realize that you cannot live in the light without having any darkness, because light does not survive without darkness. So things will start coming up. Trauma from past lives for people who have experienced past life trauma, current life trauma, childhood trauma is going to come to the surface, and people are going to start realizing, okay, I react like this because of this. And when people start to look within their souls, the rest basically falls into place. We will start using technology in the way that it's supposed to be used. We will start using our knowledge in the way that it should and was used in the ancient Egyptian times and even before the Egyptian times. The stories that we are told are not quite the truth. I'll also do a video on the book of Revelations next week, hopefully. And in my opinion, the savior that was supposed to or is coming in the future, as predicted in so many different religions and so many different belief systems, everyone speaks of a Christ consciousness, of a Messiah that is going to return. And Christ is, in my opinion, not coming back. That person is not coming. He was a teacher. He was here to tell us certain things. And whether you are a religious, spiritual, or an atheist, you know within your heart that we are much bigger than what we are being told. There is no way that we've come to this planet with free will, with the powers that we have and the knowledge that we have in order to live this type of life. The Christ that is returning is our Christ consciousness, the light within us. The Savior that we're waiting for is us. We are the change. We are the revolution. And if we just start collectively connecting and realizing that everything started from one and we are all one and all is one, then we will start to begin to realize what can make this world a happier place. And I know this sounds very confusing to many people, but once you go through an awakening, you are never the same again. Once you start to look at the lies and deceptions we have been fed, you will begin to question the rest of your life and the life that you have currently lived. So when we begin to heal the things like abuse, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, physical abuse, creating technologies and substances in order to make a profit, all of these will cease to exist when we become more conscious of who we are, and what we're going to do about it. So I hope this kind of explained what is going on currently. And when you start to open your eyes, you will begin to see that we are in a massive, massive change. It seems very chaotic now, but chaos needs to happen in order for systems to break down. That's why I believe that in South Africa right now, it needs to get bad. Like, people need to see what's going on in order for change to happen. So I hope this video helped you, and I hope you guys have a really great week. And I hope that you all look within yourselves, because if you're trying to change your outer world, your inner world will never change. Looks fade. Money disappears. People die. What is beyond that? I hope this video helped you. Namaste. Have a great week, everyone. Blessings.